stop blaming Tuchel. Even me, I apologize to him. Yesterday, I compared him to Bin Laden and Arteta. Um, I took that video down because I was wrong. I was, emotionally too invested, and what Tuchel was trying to do was trying to show England, the English public, the English media, the English coaching system that the players you're producing are simply not good enough. And you saw it. Like, this Argentina team is not even good, but they still managed to outplay you in the last 30 minutes. Something snapped. 39-year-old Messi managed to make England look like clowns. You saw what Spain did to France. Football always wins at the end of the day. Footballers will always win. Not all the time, but 80% of the time, the footballers will always win. And I finally understand what Tuchel was trying to do. He was like, okay, well, you guys like the PNP stuff, pace and power. I'm going to bring pace and power. You saw what pace and power does. The players you like so much, Declan Rice, Ellen Anderson, Jude Bellingham, Rashford, Morgan Rogers, Eze. You like this kind of players? I'll bring them. You see what these guys did? They're awful. Just beating Mexico, struggling against Ghana. So we see it also in Sunday League football that in England everything is just disgusting. 2-foot tackle, screamers, lucky screamers, cross it in, hoof the ball high, and just laugh about it. Not everything has to be a struggle. Not every match has to be a struggle. You can't dominate the ball. You can't keep the ball. England has the players, but they left them at home. They left them in the bench. Adam Wharton, Morgan Gibbs-White, Alex Scott, Palmer, Foden, those kind of guys. Even Grealish, Shrewsbury Hall. You could have put Shrewsbury Hall there. And this is why, England, they don't change their mentality. They will never win the World Cup again. And also, Harry Kane said that the manager never told them to sit back, that they mentally was they capitulated mentally. They were stunned. They were scared. And this is another thing I always talk about, the mental aspect of football. You saw Mark Gay laughing, smiling. I don't know if that's a defensive mechanism, but smiling. I mean, maybe it is. We also told Messi, yo, good luck. What? I don't care what Messi has done in football. You shouldn't be telling your opponent good luck after a comeback. Shouldn't be doing that. You saw, all these guys, people like Jet Spence, your team just lost. You're posting something in your Instagram or like, oh, look at me, I pocketed a 39-year-old Messi. That's a weak mentality. Anderson was scared throughout this whole match, collapsing in the floor. Declan Rice nowhere to be seen. You bring on Dan Burns. I understand why now, because of the way England was playing. But Dan Burns should not be in the England squad. He's not a world level player. Respectfully, he's an average Premier League player. So I understand what Tuchel was trying to do, and I apologize to Thomas Tuchel. You're not wrong because you won the Champions League with Chelsea. England is wrong. Thomas Tuchel is in the right. The English media, the public, the football media, football fans, they're in the wrong. I apologize to you, sir. I finally understand what you were doing. Because these guys didn't have the same energy for Southgate or Roy Hodgson, who they lost to Iceland, for crying out loud. A country of 100,000 people. Their strikers are a cab driver. So I apologize to you, Thomas Tuchel.